Hey YouTube, Awesome Rider here. Welcome to my review for BoonBoomger 27. Man, what a great episode. This is probably the best episode of the series for me. In a way, it almost felt like an entirely different show. Like, not that BoonBoomger hasn't had good moments. In fact, for a more silly-leaning show, I'm always surprised by some of the more grounded tones and feels of the series, in terms of like scenes where all the characters are talking in a room just about whatever's going on, kind of like in this episode when they're talking about Genba. It almost has a very classic Sentai Rider feel from when I first started watching, where you almost feel like you're watching a drama, where nowadays a lot of the shows feel more poppy and silly and fun, which is Toku, you know what I mean. But I'm saying, like, it does have surprisingly grounded moments where it feels more like a drama, but this episode in particular felt like it brought back stakes, and it just felt like a complete 180 in a way. I'll be curious to see how much this will be incorporated into the rest of the show. Like, is it Pedal to the Metal Commander after this, or is it going to be a mix of episodes like this and kind of more like slice of life stuff like we were getting? I'll be curious to see, but I really like this episode. I mean, we start off right away with Genba attacking our new villain, revealing he's an alien to everybody. Super intense and dramatic scene. It was such an amazing reveal, and like there's even collateral damage of him going nuts and accidentally hurting the team. And then of course we get that scene I was just talking about of them all talking. I just said talking so much just then. Anyway, what I really liked is that there wasn't a bunch of like, you betrayed us drama, you're not part of the Turbo team, you're out of the club. Like, there is a little bit of like melodrama with him at the end being like, I can't be with you guys anymore and drag you into my revenge. But I like that there wasn't any needless, like, you know, oh, you betrayed us stuff. I like that the team automatically supported him. It kind of reinforced, like, that I really, outside of Joe annoying me, I really do think this is a solid cast. I really like this cast a lot, and I think they've done enough to establish them as a team and friends that, like, all this stuff hit right. And I like that there wasn't any manufactured melodrama in that regard. In fact, I actually do kind of like him leaving, just because there are elements of like separate teams and stuff, of like Orange and Black joining so quick, and then, you know, Sakito joining so quick, that I feel that there was some missed opportunity for some different dynamics. Who knows how long this Genba stuff will last? It could last an episode, but I do appreciate a good shakeup in a more formulaic series. So I thought that was overall handled well, and it wasn't like too overly dramatic or over the top on either side, and it reinforced their bond without it being a needless betrayal thing or Genba suddenly being an enemy, but it added stakes, and it kind of reminded me in a way of them revealing that Lupin X was an alien, but that just seemed so random and needless. Like, I don't even know why they did that. Spoilers for Lupat. But anyway, but I thought that was handled well, and establishing him as an alien added this new twist, and then also establishing him from, like, being from this planet that was overrun by the Hash aliens, I think gave some much needed stakes. Because outside of the fact that we have the larger race and stuff like that, the villains just feel like Team Rocket messing with Ash every week. So this made the villains feel like a little bit more of a threat, and it added, like I said, much needed stakes to this, which I really liked. And like, again, it felt like a totally different show with these added stakes, the twist, the drama, and also like the intrigue of like the ISA and them working with the Hash aliens, that scene of those two talking. It felt like almost a totally different show, like much more dramatic and focused than the show has ever been. Also, a small thing, nice touch that Sakito like would have known Genba's planet and race from living in space. I just thought that was nice. Also, another funny thing is, I'm never one to advocate for Toku crossovers recently, but I couldn't help but think, like, with all the alien stuff and then the Sweets connection with Genba having to have the Sweets to hold his form, this is like perfectly set up. I think it's because of the alien vibes from Gav this week too, but it's perfectly set up that they could do a crossover between these two, and I could believe that Gav and this series were in the same universe, and like they kind of have the groundwork laid for that, where there'd be some fun interactions with the mythology. Speaking of, I also liked the backstory scene with Genba and Taya finally getting that. Also reminded me that I hope we eventually get to see how him and Blue hooked up. I mean, not like that. I mean, I don't know, maybe. No, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm so curious about that because we've waited so long, but it was a nice bit of context, nice bit of character lore, and also, like, you know, with the Sweets thing, I thought that was fun. Honestly, my only overall negative in this episode was I'm just not a fan of Disgrace being a little bit more of a goofy villain. I think that's probably because we're getting Mad Rex back, and he's more serious, so you're going to want to have different tones. But just his dynamic right away just felt so similar to Cannonborg with Team Rocket for me, and it was kind of this juxtaposition where it felt like the Hash aliens were more of a threat because now we have someone who's actually seen the damage they can do, but also then you have him more silly, just kind of continuing the feel of the status quo. So I just wish he was a little bit different and a little bit more outright menacing than kind of a goofy menacing, but I still overall like having this new dynamic and this new threat. It also is funny to me that this, like, with it being so dramatic at the end with Genba leaving and the music swelling, how, you know, it used to be that Rider always felt like the more mature show, and this, like, felt so much more mature than Rider was this week. I enjoyed the hell out of Gav this week, but it was just funny that it felt so much more intense, especially in a show like BoonBoomger where they're wearing tires on their face. But yeah, I really like this episode a lot. I hope they continue this momentum. I'm not opposed to them intermixing story-driven stuff like this and more fun slice-of-life stuff, but this was kind of the kick in the pants the show needed. And like I said, it felt like almost an entirely different show. And man, what a great week for superhero time. Just 2 fantastic episodes that was a joy to watch. But what do you think of this new direction for BoonBoomger? Do you hope it sticks with this momentum, or do you want it to go back to basics from the first half? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.